Tonight we're here to hear one item. It's a temporary variance for a amplified music at Thrive Coffee Shop from the hours of 4 to 7 on this coming Sunday, 9/16. Can I have a motion to, well, we don't have to have a motion. A motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 4-0. So we're looking at a 4 to 7 window to have a amplified music, which will be acoustic guitars, not electric guitars, but it will be above the noise variance allowable in the area. So this will be a one date event just this Sunday from 4 to 7. Does anybody want to speak in favor and or against the allowance of this variance? Mr. Waring.
Yeah, I just got one question.
It's a public hearing, so Mr. Waring, if you could just state your name and for the record, please.
30 Crossing Squad. What's 30 Crossing Squad. Just a question I had. Now the police department is the enforcement authority for the to enforce the variance and to the sound variance and to enforce all conditions in its entirety if there's any attached. Am I correct about that?
If it went outside of the variance that they're doing, yes, they would be responsible to make sure it's shut down at 7 o'clock and doesn't start before 4 o'clock.
No. My question was, re-say it again, is that the police department is the enforcement authority, for this section of the ordinance, this sound variance, and they also enforce all conditions in its entirety. Am I right about that?
In terms of what?
Let's say for some reason, if this, even though it's a minimum day event, if so needed, it's subject to a condition. But I'm just saying, you probably ain't gonna have a condition. But I'm just asking in general. What I'm saying is that the police is the enforcement authority for the sound variance and any conditions in its entirety to enforce the conditions and the sound variance. Am I correct about that?
It's both the police department and the zoning enforcement department, yes. A zoning enforcement officer. I don't understand where that fits into this particular application for a variance.
Well, that was just a question I wanted to get out, but okay, you answered the question. That's pretty much all I have.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else wish to speak in favor or against? I'll ask 3 times. This is a public hearing. Going once.
I have a question, Mr.
You can ask now, or you can wait till we close the public hearing. That's entirely up to you.
I'd like to ask now.
Sure.
We're gonna issue a variance, or be asked to issue a sound variance, and we don't have a value that a high-end value that, in fact, if it bothers neighbors, nobody's here, and I get that. But there's also no parameter other than the time to shut this down. Are we going to say 109 dB, which is the volume of a weed whacker running? Or is this any volume they want for 3 hours? I guess would be my question. Whether in the public session or after the hearing closed, it still would be my question.
Kristen, can you just come to the podium, please, and just...
So I do have something from the Country Fest Newport that they do want to make this an intimate setting for a coffee shop event. It's mostly acoustic production. It's a country storyteller type of situation. there's going to be 1 hour of the four of them together. It's a man, and it's actually two men and 2 women that are going to be playing for 1 hour, just from 6 to 7, as a 4-piece band. I did give this to the town. I don't know, do you want me to hand this to you?
I think what Mr. Kessen's looking for is what are we allowing as a
Upper limit.
upper limit decibel level? Are you going to have a Kenny Chesney stage, or are you going to have a couple amplifiers?
No, it's a very small, it says no large staging, small riser. It's provided by New England Tent. It's just, it's really intimate. It's not going to be anything that's crazy. Like, it's not like it's like what it would be in Newport. They wanted to end it like with a sunset type of situation, real intimate coffee shop setting. So,
So it would be in back of the shop?
yes,
Everything facing the water?
it's going to be not face the water. It's going to be, so our dock is here, and the stage is going to be in front of the dock, and they're going to be on, on a small stage, just facing the people.
Yep.
And it's really just a few hours.
So a loud rock concert is 115 decibels, so we're going
Yeah,
to be below that.
this is not going to be nowhere near a loud rock concert.
I'm good.
Okay.
I've
Thank
had
you,
my
Chris.
question.
Anybody
It says
else?
with intimate.
Ms. Ojibus?
Well, I mean, this is a form that says sound variance application, so I assume that other people have applied for sound variances. Is that right?
Yes.
And in the past, have we had a set decibel level that we are requiring people to stay
This is the
within?
first sound variance application that I think I've done in 10 years.
Could I ask staff if they have
I don't remember knowing, Dave, over the past 6
ever
years.
had any
If you want to put a limit on it,
sound?
call it 115, just for talking purposes.
Yeah. The chart that I'm looking at is loud rock concert or sandblasting. Both end up at 115.
But I mean, if we have variances, do we also have requirements of sound levels that variance would have to fall within in the past?
You hear me?
Yes.
No, I mean, the only sound variance discussion we've had that I'm aware of has been Bill Sales. That was a completely different kind of discussion. We've not had one of these. So I cannot say that we've put an upper limit on it. So obviously, we're all probably looking at the same chart because we're Googling this. 115 seems to be the level of allowed lawnmower or a rock concert, so it would probably be prudent to set it below that.
Right, but since it's a variance, it's going over what we normally would have an enforcement action against, correct? So I'm just asking, is there,
The normal, correct me if I'm off, sir, I want to say it's in the order of 55 dB is the limit.
But that would be a nighttime.
75, okay. Yeah, I was thinking residential property.
Right. But normally it's 55 at night, correct?
But
In a residential.
this is
Yeah.
4 to 7, so it doesn't meet the 9 o'clock cutoff of,
Correct.
10 o'clock cutoff of the 75. Or
so it's 65 decibels as,
75.
no, I'm looking at it, it says residential and open space 7 to 10 PM 65, commercial and waterfront 75, okay, at all times. It doesn't sound like it's really something that's going to be even close to what people are fearful of, but it seems to me that we should have a TOM policy that puts some kind of upper limit on these variances, just because it doesn't make sense to allow a variance that has no upper limit. So maybe I would request that the staff in the future look into having some sort of limitation on the variance. allowable? Is that something that other towns do? Or is it?
Well, I think what we would do is we would take a look in the future at what is it that they're planning on doing, and then ensure that the level that we're granting the variance to is consistent with what it is they're doing. And then let the council decide if that's an appropriate venue to approve. So for instance, here it looks like we're going to do, you're asking for an acoustic music venue. This isn't fireworks or, jackhammering, which would obviously need a different kind of level. So I don't know that we would want to set one level and just make that the one size fits all for any sound variance. We should probably look at them on a case-by-case basis.
Right. No, I have no problem with this. I'm going to vote in favor of it. I'm just thinking that going forward, we want to have, and we don't need to reinvent the wheel. I'm sure other municipalities have variance levels that are limitations on it. So, okay, thank you.
Be happy to look into it.
Anybody else in the audience? One last time? Hearing none, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 4-0. Council have any discussion on the variance, 4 to 7, this coming Sunday at Thrive Coffee Shop?
Motion to approve the variance.
Is there a second?
If you just expound on that a little bit for 9/16/18 from 4 to 7 p.m., you would include that in your motion.
Yes.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 4-0. We have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 4-0.